Hi everybody, it's Diana. I'm in here to share my Teach Me Tuesdays video with you. I'm just going to click over here in my group and make sure that I'm indeed going live. Hold on a minute. Okay. Make sure everything's in view and all that good stuff. So I want to thank you for saying that you wanted me to do a live. I have been doing them with my team. We use Zoom a lot, which is awesome. We get to see each other. And I've just been so used to taping them. So anyways, so it's going to be fun to be able to see your comments and things like that. So if there's anything that I'm not explaining well enough, please make sure you let me know. Okay, so this is going to be episode 31, and I'm going to be showing you how I colored this card right here. So this was actually a swap that I did, and I love the sunflower so much. And it's been so long since I actually watercolored. I've been so used to using the Stampin blends that I just haven't used my aqua painter in forever. Now we're getting this particular one is retiring. We're getting some new ones, so it'll be the same technique, but I wanted to share that with you today anyways. So let me show you a few things that I'm going to be using. Now I have these little they're like a cotton pad or whatever that I use, and this is what I use to keep my aqua painter clean. So I just kind of give it a squeeze, make sure there's no color coming on it, and then I know that I can go to the next color. So I always have those on hand. They're used for nail polish or whatever as well. And what I did ahead of time, I stamped a bunch of sunflowers. Now I've stamped this one fully on the card. This one I just stamped up here because I'm done, you know, my swaps. So now I just want to have a sunflower fully on a card, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. So that's why this one looks a little different than the other ones. I also stamped with the Stays On, and this is the shimmery white cardstock. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, oh, and this is what I usually do. So this is my little test one. So you can see here I've got a few different shades. So I wasn't sure if I was going to use granite or smoky slate to go around the edge. I wasn't sure if I was going to use chrome or soft suede. So this was just kind of my play one as I figure out my colors. Okay, so I ended up that I wanted to use smoky slate. And what I always do when I'm watercoloring is I always just put the refill, I squirt it in the ink pad, and I'm just propping that open with the Stays On pad. And I'm just going to shadow around the sunflower. I just want to make sure, let me stand up so I can see inside my phone, because it's up higher than I can see. Okay, I just want to make sure that you can indeed see. Now I'm just going to pick up some of the smoky slate, and I'm going to quickly, and I'm not being like super, watercoloring is just very, very fluid and natural. So there's no rhyme or reason. So I'm just putting some smoky slate around and putting some in the leaves here, just where it would be a little darker. So that's quick. Then I'm just going to go over and clean off my aqua painter. Then I'm going to do this center, and that I chose was the soft suede. So again, I have my squirts of my refill are already in there. And then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to load up my aqua painter, and I'm going to color really quick. So I'm coloring that super, super fast. And it takes just a second for it to soak in. If you use watercolor paper, you can move your colors around a little bit more. This is just the shimmery. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to pick up some more. And now I'm going to put it around this one side. I'm going to grab a little bit so it's a little darker. I want it to be darker in the center, a little darker over here. I'm just playing with my colors. And then I'm tapping my color on. And I think I like that. So then I will clean that off. All right, let me make sure. I like looking at the comments. All right, so now I have the soft suede on there. And what I should have done is I just started with 2 so I could be working back and forth. Because when I did the swap, that's what I did. I did all my smoky slates. I did all my soft suedes. I did all my crushed curries. And I did all my old olives. So, but it doesn't take super long to dry. All right. And then the sunflower, I'm using crushed curry. Now we have a new bumblebee color that's coming, and it's very similar to it. It's just a little bit different. All right, so the same thing. I am going to load up my aqua painter with my crushed curry. And now I'm going to quickly move the color around. So I'm spinning the card around because it's darker in the center, and I'm going to let this get lighter on the outside as the flower. So see how this aqua painter holds the color, so I'm able to color to the tip of the flowers. You don't have to go all the way to the end. A little bit of white. Now I need to catch a little bit because it's getting empty. But I like it if it doesn't go yellow all the way to the end. I like it to have some white on the ends because it would be bright, right? Oh, my mom's watching. Hey, Mom. Okay, so that is like that one, you know, I kind of like went quick. And then you're going to want to let it dry. And you can see it soaks in pretty good. And you just have to turn it to the side in the light, and you can see that it's dry. So now you want to add a little bit more definition. So come over, and I'm going to grab quite a bit. So I'm going right into the refill splatter instead of where I've been like diluting it. So I'm grabbing a bunch, and then I'm just going to brush into my sunflower. And I want to make sure that you guys can see. So I'm brushing up into the sunflower, and I keep going over, and I keep grabbing some of that refill. And I always tell people, if you aren't sure how to figure out your lowlights and your highlights, just put an item on your desk, put a light on it, and then look and see how the colors play with it. But the thing is, with nature stuff like flowers, there's no rules, you know. It's like this flower is going to be beautiful no matter what you do to it. And I stuck with sunflower colors, but you could color this any color you want. All right, so how does that look? That looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. And if these whites bother you too much, just come over and dilute it and just push some of that color out so you don't have too white of tips. But I do like the look of the white on the tips. All right, so now I'm going to clean my aqua painter. I'm going to close my pad so I don't get my hand in it. And my sister's here. Oh my gosh. I keep looking up, and I hope I don't miss any questions. If I miss a question, just ask again, and I'll keep looking. All right, now I'm going to squeeze, because sometimes you don't have the refill, right? So you're going to squeeze the pad. These are the new style pads, so you squeeze from the bottom. So you turn it over. If you squeeze from the top, it doesn't work. So you have to squeeze from the bottom. All right, open it up. All right, now I'm going to give it a squirt of refill. So I'm going to put a little bit of the old olive refill in here, and I just have them on my desk waiting when I'm coloring, especially when I'm doing a bunch. All right, again, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Make sure that color is out of there. And I'm gonna come over here, and just like I did the flower, I'm going to lay that old olive in the leaf very quickly. I'm just being just a tad careful where it touches the flower, so I don't get that green on the flower. So what I'm doing is I'm just coming to the flower and I'm pushing it out, so that way I don't get any of the old olive. And then once you get to here, you can go fast again. Alrighty, so I'm going to spin it around. Now these should be dry, and I'm going to go in to where it's dark. Make sure you can see that. So I'm going in to where I squirted out the refill, and I'm just going to put that down here, because this would be shadow, because this flower is going over that leaf, so it would be a little darker. Now you can, this stamp set is brand new. You can get it starting the 3rd of June. Actually has a matching die. So if you didn't want to, because what I did was I did a mask. So I stamped my flower first, and then I stamped, this is just a piece of vellum, and I cut it out, but I left myself a finger hold. So I just know when I'm stamping it, I'm always going to have my leaves around this side, so that this is my hand hold. And I used the vellum, and then I just laid it on. I'm going to turn it so I can see with my old blind eyes. So I put it onto here, and when I trimmed it out, I trimmed it right on the line. So I actually cut away a little bit of the lines of the sunflower on here, just so you don't have that ghost. Like when you stamp something, and if don't cut away the line, there will be like a line here when you stamp the leaf, so that you would tell that you did mask. So that hopefully that makes sense. If you don't do it and you stamp and you see that, oh, there's like a gap, then you know that you need to cut more of your stencil away, so that you don't have that. So I put this on here to stamp my leaves, but it does have a die. So if you didn't want to do that, you could cut the flower out and then actually pop it for real over top of the leaves. But I kept it like simple, and it was just one layer basically. But isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love this set. I cannot wait to see what y'all do with it. And then what I did, let me show you the finished card. So then what I did was I also splattered with some of the espresso. And all you do, I have like a splatter. Let's see. Oh, which one is it? It's this one here. Yeah, so this is my little splatter one. It's one of the larger, it's the larger tip aqua painter, and I wrote splatter, and I've used it so much, most of the writing's coming off. But you're just gonna pick up the espresso on there, and then I just rub it on the lid, and it splatters on the card. So let me show you. And I all out of gloves, so it's kind of messy. You should have seen my fingers. They were a horrible, horrible mess. So I'm going to try to do this without going back to having that mess. So if you do this, you want to make sure you wear gloves. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up, and this you kind of want it to be kind of watery. So I'm picking up that aqua painter, and then, I mean, you can tap it. I mean, it will splash out if you tap, but I was getting more of a luck if I actually like flicked it on the lid. So if you're just doing a couple, it's not bad, but I had to do 33 cards, so my hand was a mess. I won't even tell you what it looked like, but you can just imagine. But anyway, so that's how I got the flecks on the card. So it just gives it, you know, a little decoration. And then I put, these are some of the new in color enamel dots. Now for the swap, I used the metallic dots because I couldn't get tons of these for this swap. So, do I always use vellum for masks? If I know I'm gonna keep a mask for like what I'll do is now I'll just keep this mask. Good question, Jackie Lines, my little sister. Now I'm gonna keep this in the stamp set, so I use the vellum because it's gonna withstand more than paper. But if I just need to mask something and I'm not gonna use it a whole bunch, a lot of times I'll use a Post-it note, because in the Post-it note will stick, you know, to the card so you can mask. Remember when I did the cute little cow and I masked around here to get the little kissy face on the cow? I did use a Post-it note so it was sticking to the thing. Now keep in mind, this cow and the pig, where I got these cute little kissies, are retiring. So if you want the cow and the pig set where you get the kissy lips, you need to get it now because it's leaving. So that was a very good question. Let's see, did anyone else ask any questions? I'm gonna scroll up. I apologize. I just don't want to miss anything. I'm not used to having people actually ask things on the live. So, but anyways, so, but yeah, so it just depends on if I'm gonna reuse it. Now, when I did the 33 cards, this was a mess and I redid it because after a while, depending on how many, this can get really full of ink. So, but this one's, you know, good enough. I'll put it with the stamp set and I can use it quite a few more times. All right, anything else? Let's see. Oh yes, I used the Bumblebee. We have some new gingham Bumblebee ribbon. So this is actually my incentive for this month. You can earn a roll of this if you place a qualifying order. So if you hop on over to my blog, you'll be able to check that out. And that was for May. So that's the Bumblebee gingham. And then I used, which is, I'm so glad it's carrying over. I always call it the underwear ribbon because it's so cute. It looks like underwear ribbon. But this, you can still get this. This is very vanilla. And I just love the country look to this. So, but anyways, so I think that was all I wanted to show you in regards to the sunflower. But I hope you give it a shot. And I just want to show you how easy watercoloring is. So many people say, I can't watercolor. But this stamp set is an awesome one to practice because you just cannot mess it up. You cannot. So hopefully you'll give it a go. And I'm gonna say see you later. And I'm so glad that you popped in and joined me today. And let me know if there's anything that you want to see, and I will definitely show it to you. And I'll stop blabbing. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a great Tuesday, and I will see you later. Bye.